Hello everybody and welcome back to The Sanctuary. I'm your host, Professor C. We're going to continue our A&P lecture series today by talking about some more muscles, specifically postural muscles that move the spine, also known as the deep back muscles. Let's go. Walking is hard. Just ask this little fella who looks like he's tried a couple times now, but the grass stains on his pants and hands tell that maybe he's fallen a few times now. You could ask this guy or this guy too, but they're having trouble walking for far different reasons, of course. So let's talk about this a little bit. It's not just walking. Standing is hard. If you've ever had to stand at attention for a long period of time, you can actually pass out because of the amount of energy that it takes to maintain this posture. Even sitting is difficult. It doesn't look like it maybe on face value, but the postural muscles, especially these here in the back, are working hard to keep that torso erect. So let's talk about a specific set of muscles here called the ERECTOR SPINAE group, and they do as they sound like, erect the spine. And the easiest way to remember these is they're all long strap-like muscles, but it goes ILS from out to in. ILS, I love standing. You can remember it that way with a little mnemonic device. So these three muscles here are the prime movers of extension of the spine and bending laterally, that is taking the torso and bending down this way, or the other way, of course. Technical action is to straighten and rotate the back, maintain sitting and standing posture through extension of the spine. Now, when we get to the spinal nerves later, we will hit this very hard that the back muscles are innervated by the posterior branches or the posterior rami of the spinal nerves, but for now we'll just make the point that it's true. I stands for ILIOCOSTALIS, L is for LONGISSIMUS, and S is for SPINALIS. And for most classes, that's where it ends, and that's really all you need to know. But if you want to get a little more in-depth, there is a little more to it, so let's check that out. Iliocostalis itself we know is the outer one, right? The most lateral of these three, ILS. But here's how this works. Down here at the bottom, the part that's actually illustrated in red, that's Iliocostalis lumborum because it's down there in the lumbar part. However, there are two other parts of Iliocostalis. Right here, and I'm going to go ahead and try to color it as I am talking, this is ILIOCOSTALIS thoracis. Technically part of the iliocostalis, but it's here where the ribs are in the thoracic area, so it's called ILIOCOSTALIS thoracis. And if I change to another color, say blue, I can show you ILIOCOSTALIS cervicis. Cervicis implying that has something to do with going to the neck, and it's this little tiny fella right here at the top of the chain. So all three of those together would be iliocostalis, but there are three divisions, lumborum, thoracis, and cervicis. You can play a similar game with longissimus if you want to. Remember, it's the middle one here in between the ILS. So longissimus thoracis is the one I can indicate with an arrow here. We can play that game, hey, now I'm in the neck, so I'm going to be called longissimus cervicis. And that's the one right here that I'm coloring red as I'm speaking, longissimus cervicis. And then just like we did before, if I change to a blue, I can show you the third part of this, which is actually going all the way to the head. So it's called longissimus capitis, and it is this guy right here. And now we see the entire chain of longissimus. Thoracis at the bottom, cervicis coming up higher, and then capitis being up there by the head. Now, spinalis is simple. There's only one area where we find spinalis. There's no lumbar, and there's no cervicis, and there's no anything attached to the head. So we just have spinalis thoracis. So it could be called just plain old spinalis, but sometimes you do hear it called spinalis thoracis for this reason. Quadratus lumborum is, it looks like a group of muscles, but it's just considered one that originates from the crest of the ilium, which is right here, and goes over to the lumbar vertebrae and the bottom rib, which is number 12. So L1 to L5 and rib 12 are the insertions, and this will help you flex your spine, right? Help you bend forward if you want to think of it a different way. And as usual, back muscles are largely innervated by posterior branches of the spinal nerves. The last little thing here is a multifidus, and it is not drawn as it should be. It should continue further up. If I can get my little arrow to show that, it should continue way up the spinal column. So it will originate way down low at the sacrum. Notice how far down on the sacrum it does originate, and a little flared portions of it originate from the ilium. And it will, multifidus will, insert on all the spinous processes. Now be careful here, it won't insert on all the vertebrae because remember C1, the first cervical vertebra, does not have a spinous process. So it, multifidus, will insert on all vertebrae except C1. A lot of actions here, as you can imagine, being along the length of the spine, rotation, bend, flex the spine. And no surprise here, it is innervated by posterior branches of spinal nerves. So, go take a walk. Thanks for watching that one. Come back after your walk and watch some more videos in the series, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye-bye.